Okay, all right. We are almost 14 minutes past. So let's start. Folks who are joining, can you, if you're not speaking, then can you please be on mute? And one, okay, and once the speakers get online, then we'll be actually giving a chance for everybody to speak. So at this time, welcome everybody, and this is our first teleconference and a Google Hangout. Obviously, you can see that we are also trying out things. We are trying multiple things so that this becomes a good experience. We are not very experienced technically, but we are trying to take help from different people, such as Gaurav, to get us going. We are not perfect, as you can see. We are trying to get the hang of it, but we are getting there. Um, so to begin with, I wanted to first of all welcome all of you. I wanted to let you know why we are here, and after that, I will ask my fellow members to speak for a couple of minutes and introduce themselves. And once they do that, then I will have the designated speakers speak. Once they are done, we will open up the forum and all of you folks can ask questions one by one. So to begin with, first of all, why we are here? What is KOA Nextgen? This is a group which has been recently formed by KOA, and the reason why we have formed this group is because we want young folks like you to come together and know each other, meet with each other, if not physically, then through hangouts like these. We want this group to be a purposeful group where you can come together and find like-minded Kashmiri Pandits who can help you and who can make things better for you or easier for you in any way possible, be it friendship-wise, professionally, mentoring, getting any other sort of help. So I think you will find a purpose and a reason to belong to this group. You'll be very happy to know that we are all trying to form this group so that this can be ultimately managed by you. So you will not have any interference from older people whom you don't may not feel comfortable talking to in a group or something like that. So ultimately, our objective is that this group will be actually managed by people like you. So having said that, the ultimate objective and mission is something that we are still defining, but this is a more or less broader picture that I gave you right now. We will be forming mentoring sessions. I think that's something that we have heard a lot from folks like you, that people who are who are working can mentor folks who are in college. The folks who are in college can mentor folks who are in high school, and so on and so forth. So today's one big purpose was also to get you all together so that we can hear from you what exactly do you want from a group like this, and also how you can contribute to this group. That is actually the prime purpose of why we are here. We want to hear from you. Eventually, we will not be in this call. It will be managed by you and it will be conducted by you. So having said that, let me pass on the mic to the folks who are actually my co-peers, who are also a part of organizing this. So let me hand it over to Rajni ji first. Rajni ji, please go ahead. Yeah, folks, if you're not speaking, please, can you please go on mute? Rajni ji, are you on the call? Okay, let me get out of Google Hangout. Please go ahead.
Okay. Namaskar to everyone. Uh, I'm Surinder Kaul. I'm based in Houston. So I, on behalf of KOA board and board of directors and executive members, welcome you to this Google Hangout. And also I welcome you on behalf of the leadership of KOA Generation Next. Well, the objective as defined, I will just keep it bare minimum. Objectives are basically that we have a community in US and it's very important that the youth get associated with this community, as youth are the pillars of any community, and it is an attempt to provide you a platform so that you can come together nationally, and based upon that you can create your self-interest groups and take up anything that you have passion with, that necessarily doesn't need to be with community affairs. That can be academics, that can be music, that can be your passion, your hobbies. So at the same time, provide some time to certain things which might bring more value to the community. So this is a beginning to create an interface between the youth groups within this country. And in a longer run, once you are able to develop that cohesive group, we can have an interface with the youth in India and other countries. So this is a humble beginning, and I must thank the leadership of the KOA Generation Next, who are working hard to bring you together. And at this note, it will be wonderful to listen to you, and we are all open to your suggestions, and that's how we'll be moving forward. Thank you so much, and once again, proud of you. So I stop it here. Back to Gaurav. But before that, Goro, the Hangout is frozen. Is this something that is with others also, or something at my side only? Oh, really? Okay.
Oh no. Hello? Hey, Gaurav, you want me to say something?
Yeah, sure. If you have any input for us.
Well, yeah, I want to, congratulate all you guys that you have taken the initiative of coming and speaking and getting introduced. And we have a lot of expectation from young generation, right? And to carry on with the cultural and, you know, our Kashmiri heritage forward. Most of you kids haven't born in Kashmir. Many of you haven't even visited. But I know through your parents and through your grandparents, you must be listening and hearing a lot of things. And also, it is in our DNA, right? We may go anywhere in the world, but our genes, are still going to be Kashmiri. And there comes a time in the life when you get back to the roots, and your roots, are what builds your character. So my advice is stay connected with your Kashmiri roots and make sure you interact with each other and help each other carry forward our Kashmiri heritage and culture. Thank you.
Okay, please go ahead.
Um, so, ba- so basically, I think this initiative. One second. Is that better? Okay. So basically, I think this initiative is very effective. Just because I think that we are like the first generation of kids to go through like the motions of. I can speak from an educative standpoint or an academic standpoint. Because we're like the first generation of kids that have gone through the motions of like academia in the United States. I think it was like especially difficult and confusing for us to figure out because our parents have gone through completely different motions, and like my mom and dad weren't able to give a lot of information on like to as to how to go through high school or what classes to choose. But because like we've had that experience firsthand, I feel like kids who are at least in college right now, they have a lot of knowledge that they can pass on to younger Kashmiri children. I see it with my sister. I know what to like encourage her to do right, what to discourage when she's in middle school right now, and like when she goes into high school. And I have lots of Kashmiri parents who come to me and ask me for advice on what their kids should be doing or looking at, just because I've gone through the motions and know like what high school is all about, and at least now a little bit like what college is all about as well. So I think it's important that like if you have a consolidated forum, that your advice reaches as many people as possible, which is a great thing that I think this is achieving. Just because instead of my advice just reaching Tara or Yashna or Akash, if it can reach a multitude of people, it's like an exponential growth. Because I can reach 100,000, I can reach 100 people can reach 100 more, and it's like an escalating process um, when you're sharing knowledge. Yeah. You're welcome.
Hi everyone, I'm Rashmi Cole. I'm in Mansfield, Massachusetts, and I just finished my first year at Boston University as a bio pre-med student. And I've I've I was born in India in Jammu, and we moved here, or my mom came back with me when I was 3 months old. So technically, I have been raised here, and one of the things that my parents really stressed when I was younger was the language, and I'm fluent in Kashmiri right now, and I feel like that is a really big thing that this organization should focus on, just because passing on our language will be a big milestone and will be something that we should really try to accomplish. And I know that everyone says that learning a language is it's most important to start teaching a language at a young age, and most of us are much older, where a lot of us are, like, most of us right now are just in high school and things, middle school, things like that. But if we could start something like a mentorship program, or like just pairing like you said earlier, pairing college kids up with high schoolers, pairing working kids with college kids, things like that would make it a really great way for us to be able to, as Whitney said, pass advice on. Even what I was saying was really important, language, like just talking to each other in Kashmiri, trying to get past the idea that, like, a lot of people say, like, oh, we're too old, we can't learn it anymore. But I think that that is one thing that we should get past and try to learn the language, and that will make a big difference in the long run. Mm.
We have Sean Carnival.
He doesn't look like he's on.
He's not on the Hangout, I think. We have Aditya Cole on the phone?
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm at the University of Texas in Austin. I'm studying advertising, business, and pre-med. And my big I think advice for this organization is that we really need to focus on uniting the Kashmiri community in person. A big thing that I know, like the Malayali communities, the Agarwal communities, they really focus on getting their youth face to face and meeting with each other, whether it's in their own cities, Houston, Dallas, Austin, or whether it's a regional conference, something in Oklahoma or Atlanta, New York. And it's great that we can connect with each other online this year with social media, and it's important that we all maintain these connections online, on LinkedIn, professionally, on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, whatever it may be, to keep ourselves in the loop. But at the same time, I don't think anything can replace a face-to-face conversation. And having even just like a weekend retreat for 2 or 3 days, maybe 2 or 3 times in the year, maybe something for spring break, something for winter break, Thanksgiving break, would really allow all of the youth to get together and really dispel their knowledge to one another. So whether it's something where college kids are helping high schoolers are helping younger kids, or it's working people in the workforce helping kids in college, it's really important to disseminate that information down the line. I think, as Whitney mentioned earlier, it's important that we've been brought up in the U.S. versus our parents, for the most part, have come from India, and they don't really fully understand the intricacies and nuances of living in the States. Because we've been here, most of us, I think, have been brought up in the U.S. We've gone to school here. It's a lot different system than it is in India. There's a lot of different opportunities, a lot of different possibilities, and for some of our parents, I think it's overwhelming, and they don't understand. A big example for me is I'm doing pre-med, but I also switched my major over to advertising, and I know that was a big point of contention. And I was able to speak with my parents and tell them that in the U.S. you're able to major in one concentration. You can still do pre-med, pre-law, pre-farm, whatever it is, and that's kind of a new concept for parents and the older generation to grasp. So if we're able to get the youth telling the parents about what they need to be doing and telling their own peers what they need to be doing. I think that's a huge boon for the Kashmiri community.
All right, I think the meeting part was really important. All around the year, we should have meetings at least twice for like every 6 months. Would be not a bad idea on talking about what all we have noticed and even what we have been doing, and especially for all the like I'm working right now and you're in college, and then we have people from high school, and we can always let them know that this came out new in this state, or this college started giving this course, and this is how you can get scholarships here or stuff like that. And I mean, not only when we meet, but we can always do it online. And we have started a Facebook page. We'll talk about it later. But Anil, I think let's go to the next speaker first. Let's finish what everyone has to say. Next up, Lisa, you have on the call?
I am. I'm on my dad's hangout because my hangout wouldn't work, but I'm also on the conference call.
Yeah, she's good. I unmuted you, so you're good to go.
Oh, okay. Hi, this is Sheen. I'm a recent graduate of the University of Georgia, and I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I basically definitely, when I made a list of things to talk about, I put all the things that the earlier speaker said. And I think language is a really important thing to preserve because just not knowing the Kashmiri language, but not able to communicate with my parents, and then my brother, who's only 11, who is learning Hindi and can barely speak Hindi, so it's going to be very hard for him to even grasp the concept of Kashmiri language and Kashmiri alphabet and all of that. So I think it'd be a good idea to start preserving language because through language, culture and cultural heritage is preserved. And not only just because we're Hindu, we shouldn't only just learn Hindi, we should try to preserve Kashmiri and maybe set up Kashmiri learning camps over the summer or during our conferences. And I think mentoring is another good idea because, just like everyone else said, it's very hard for parents sometimes to grasp the concept of how American universities, colleges work, especially with pre-med, pre-fin, and pre-law, and how you can major in other majors. Another thing I wanted to say was, another thing I wanted to say was, I know a lot of us probably visit India with our parents and such, but I know other cultures and other just friends that are from other countries, they have programs from the country that pay for all of their funding to go there, and then they do cultural sites, visits, learn more about their heritage and stuff. And I know Israel does that with, if you're of Jewish heritage, you can go there for free over the summer, and it's about 3 to 6 weeks. So maybe something like that with all of the youths taken from the U.S. or another country like Canada, and I know we have a big presence in Australia, just taking them to a trip, and maybe not Kashmir because I don't, like, depending on the situation in Kashmir, I don't think that would be very probable, but maybe just in India and or the northeast part of India, and taking us to cultural sites and heritage would be another good idea to, another good way for us to explore our culture and heritage. And that's it.
So cultural and heritage is for yeah, something else. Yeah, anyone appreciate that on the call? So, the ship that is not there, I wanted to give an opportunity to Sana to speak. Sana, are you on the call?
Yeah, I am. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak. I've been listening. I'm sorry, I'm not on Google Hangout, but I'm only on the phone. I'm actually driving my sister right now. Well, she's driving. I'm not driving. But I just wanted to say that everybody here has incredibly good ideas with regards to how we connect as a generation. from people working professionals. I'm a working professional myself, to people who are just about to graduate college, to people who are just about to graduate high school. Because one of the things is that while we are children, we are basically children of refugees. So the bonds we forge are the bonds we make ourselves. We don't have the luxury our parents' generation did of living right next to each other and knowing your third cousin once removed and being as close to them as you are with your brothers and sisters. So that's definitely something that's been lost, and I think this initiative is a good way to kind of reforge the bonds that are, I think, quite weakening in our community, especially if you look at the language situation, because I speak Kashmiri. I know a lot of people don't, and if it continues the way it does, if we understand the language and we don't speak it, I think within maybe 2 or 3 generations, the language itself will be wiped out, because it's mostly it's a spoken language. It's not really a written language. So the whole Kashmiri mentoring camp and the idea that takes people to visit different Christian communities is something that is very good. I think these ideas are very good. At some point in time, soon, I would like to think, if we don't like to lose the momentum, some volunteers need to sit down and get everything hammered. If you want to do a KOA language camp, if you want to do it online, how do you want to get it set up? Do you want to do it via Google Chat? Do you want to do it via Facebook? Do you want to do Skype sessions, conference calls? Same with the vacations, languages, things like that. How are you going to get it set up? Who's going to be interested? Where do you want to go? All the logistics. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that I think this is a very good initiative, but I think in order to really put all the ideas, that so many of the good ideas that everybody has put forth here, we need a lot of energy, we need a lot of momentum, and we need this desire that, yes, you know what, we might be Americans, might have been raised in America, our parents might speak Persian, we might be Indians, but as a part of it, we're Kashmiri Pandits, and we have a culture and heritage that's over 5,000 years old, and it's time to take it back. And that's it from me.
Thank you so much. Anil, I was thinking there are other people on the Hangout if they want to say something. Yep. All right. Hello?
Yeah, sorry.
Can you hear me on the Hangout now?
Yes.
Right. There are a couple of people who have joined, but they didn't get a chance to speak. I think it's Adi Paul, and Nikita got through. You guys want to say something?
Yeah, sure. Well, hi, my name is Nikita Katru. I'm from Central Jersey. And kind of like all the speakers, I definitely agree with all the points that you guys are making. I do think that the most important thing, though, is to stress having, more face-to-face meetups with as many people as possible. I think, for me at least, I really enjoy the East Coast. What? Oh, sorry, I don't know. So I really enjoy the East Coast annual camp that we have, but I've never really gotten a chance to communicate with the West Coast youth. So I think it would be really great if we could have like a nationwide meetup. And also I think that every year after the KOA camp, there's always like a lot of excitement. I'm always like trying to, keep in contact with the people that I meet there. But I do think that also fades out throughout the course of the year until, once again we have camp. So I think if we could have more of those kinds of events, that kind of keeps that communication constant and like that excitement constant. And I think that kind of it kind of naturally initiates this like mentorship, because I know every time I go to camp, I kind of naturally gravitate towards people that are older than me, kind of asking them advice on high school and now college for me. So I think just more face-to-face meetups is definitely the best way to kind of unite our community.
Right. Thank you, Nikita. Adi, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I'll say stuff. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
No, can anyone hear me?
Yeah.
All right, people can hear me.
We
okay,
can hear you.
Good. I am from the greatest country on earth, Texas. All right. My entire experience with being Kashmiri has been that um, I find it a unique part of my life. I don't find it as a definition for myself. I find since I was born in America, I was raised in the American culture. I identify with more of an American person as opposed to a Kashmiri person. And for someone growing normally in America, regardless of their ethnic background, I think for the most part that happens. As far as KOA and trying to unite a younger audience so that we can preserve a culture, I don't believe a operation of force should be the right path. I believe that we should have an option for children of any age to say, hey, if you want to learn about our culture, we're open to teach you. Like we can set up programs, but it shouldn't be something that, hey, since you're Kashmiri, you have to learn about our culture, you have to learn about our language, because authority leads to resentment. And I've learned from my own experience that if when I was a child, if someone forced me to learn something, I was not very inclined. So I agree that the concept of cultural preservation should be something that we should strive for, but it should not be something we should force, because it might create more alienation. So, I mean, I'm all for everything, but I don't think it should be a mandate across the board. I think there should be more leniency. There should be options, not requirements. I'm trying to think what else. But yeah, I mean, I find this entire concept of hanging out, at least at our generation, college kids and people entering college, people going to graduate school, we can actually take the lead, and the adults don't have to do anything. So, uh, oh, oh, okay. Sorry, my internet disconnected.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So yeah, my internet disconnected. Sorry about that. I think since the we're going to be the next adults in the Kashmiri community, we're going to be in charge of this entire organization. I think we should take our own initiative, not let adults do anything, because first of all, I think authority is not good. But more importantly, we have to uh, set a precedent for each next generation. So, Aditya within 1A.
Adi, I think you're disconnected again. So, anything, because first of all, I think authority is not good, but more importantly, we have to set a precedent for each next generation. So, Aditya within 1A. Okay, I think Adi is disconnected. But let's see, he joins us again. You mentioned 2 points about authority and restriction. I don't think anyone mentioned restriction. This will be open. We would expect it, and we would expect, and if our friends are interested, we should always invite them. And I don't think any of our friends would that it's only for us and no one else is invited. Everybody is welcome to join in and learn about our culture. I think we would be happy to let others know what Kashmiri and what Kashmiri culture is, and about our language, about everything, about our history, about our heritage, and about authority. I think, since KOA has been there for a while, and like you, me, Adi, you said you grew up here. I don't know. I don't think you know the language either. And the reason they are there is there for if we face any trouble. In case like we were talking about people brought up learning language, and
I'm. I mean, all I'm saying is, I mean, I agree that you know, learning the culture that your parents are a part of, learning about the history of who
Mhm.
you are, where you came from, that's important. I mean, I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying it's. Is it something that we should tell the next generations and the future Kashmiris of tomorrow that, hey, you need to do this? Or is it something that say, we want you to be a part of this. We want to, hold hold on to this culture, but you know we want to do it. It's not something that has to happen. It's something that we want to happen. I mean, inevitably in the future, there's going to be just one giant culture of just human beings on the planet. There's going to be no, independent identity. But I mean, as for now, is it just? I think it's just something that we should suggest to kids and future generations. I mean, yeah, we can probably have. I mean, one good idea could possibly be having online Kashmiri classes where we could have some people, through Google Hangout, have a person go through, how to speak in Kashmiri fluently. You know, that could be a good thing, and people could come in whenever they want to, leave whenever they want to. It could be an hour a week. That could be one thing that we could do. Um, that's actually not a bad idea. Uh, let's see. I mean, at least in Texas, what we have every spring break is we have a Kashmiri camp. Um, so that's that. I mean, I haven't been to an international KOA camp.
People, through Google Hangout, have a person go through, how to speak in Kashmiri fluently. They can get people.
Hello, Anil.
Yeah.
If you're watching, can you just keep your phone or put it near to the speaker so that those are not on the hangout? We can hear Adi. Or I can ask Adi to join in the audio conference.
I was able to hear after that, yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay, Adi, hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, are you on the audio conference call?
No, I am not because I'm
Do you
gonna.
have a cell phone right now?
Well, I mean, I have a phone with me, but I mean, I just was using the computer.
Okay, can you join in that as well, since there are some people who are not on the hangout and
Isn't the Hangout connected to the phone conference?
no, it's not.
If
Oh,
somebody
goodness.
has is a presenter, all I would do is keep your phone in there so people who are not joining the conference call, the voice comes through the computer speaker and then everybody else again.
All right, hold on. I have to figure out how to do this.
Right, I think we've had all the kids, all the youth input, and I would ask Anil Uncle if you can join, and since the call is still on the hangout, Rajni and he's still there. So,
Hello?
go ahead.
Hi, I'm Nisha Kaspa. I'm from Maryland. I've just been listening to everyone's conversation so far. I just wanted to say a couple things. I won't be too long. But one thing is that about language. So my concern with language is that you have to start at a very basic level, and then you start at a community zone level. Jumping nationally is very, very difficult. That has tried to be done multiple times in the past by other youth leaders, and they have repeatedly failed. And so I think what it needs to start is what we could do is each zone has designated times, and they have their own teaching sessions. So in the DC area, what we've done is we started September 2013, and what we essentially did was we have a 3-hour session on a Saturday, the first Saturday every 3 months. And we have about 15 to 20 kids who come in, and each kid comes to a presentation, either a location, and you get a Jeopardy game, they learn language. It's like a 3-hour crash course on being Kashmiri. And so every 3 months we meet up, and those kids who stick, they stick, and they keep coming. And I think that's the way we start out. So let's say the Texas group would start their own, the California group would start their own, and then nationally we could do a camp. But to do a camp
just to learn a language. It needs to be a like continuous thing throughout the year. You can't just have like 1 week that people come in and they're going to learn Kashmiri. Like I know Kashmiri, but it's not fluent, it's not clean, it's not perfect. I don't have anyone else to speak it to, so naturally it's withering away from me. So that's one thing. When it comes to language, like the national aspect is very difficult to do and needs to be done at a very local level. And so each of us could start a little group in your zone, and you do teaching sessions. You call the aunties and uncles to come in and do like an hour, and then you make like for us, we have like flashcards, and we have like, okay, well this is anything like when we do like watermelon, and then we do fruits, and then we do numbers, and we do it progressively, and that's how you learn any language. So that's one thing. Second one was networking. Networking is, I think it was Ozzy from Texas. He was talking about like networking is more face to face. But if I know someone in California who's Kashmiri, it's very difficult to just pick up the phone just because I see them on Instagram or Facebook or something like that. We need to have more face to face like viewings of each other. So that's a part of it, but like the mission of this needs to be like super focused. If we like try to do it, if we try to like spread ourselves too thin, the mission's gonna be lost. And another big thing is like you need to keep like 3 or 4 things that we identify ourselves as being Kashmiri. Is it we're doing Pun and Shivratri, like that's the Hindu aspect that only Kashmiris do that we can hold to, or Navratri. Like we have our whole own New Year's. Because that's what we're talking about. Kashmiri identity, or are we identifying it through our language? Are we identifying it through our clothes? Like how are we identifying ourselves? Because there's so many ways of identifying a Kashmiri pundit. So there needs to be like core pillars as to what we're focusing on, instead of just, there's so many ways we can spread the youth and culture, but there's like pillars, like strict pillars, like language, I don't know, other things, like I don't know what they would be, but they need to be very concentrated. And that's like that's what I gather from the whole conversation that everyone's been having, is everyone has great ideas. It's about making it very focused and productive and effective. I'm sorry, I just want to chime in. Someone has this issue again. I completely agree with, I'm sorry, I don't recall your name. Nisha, okay. I completely agree with Nisha. It's much easier, I think, with what she's saying, to start from a ground-up level and make it sort of a grassroots movement that goes upward rather than a trickle-down sort of thing. Because she's right, the logistics of that would be absolutely massive. And it would, I think, right at this stage, we have spread ourselves and create more problems than we can actually solve. But if we work on linking up rather than, one huge thing coming down, it makes things sort of more manageable. And completely agree with Kudos saying that we need to hammer down what exactly needs to be, what do we use to identify ourselves. This is what makes us us. And I mean, I just combine with part of it because that is one thing that makes you a community. I think we should at least learn it or speak it or understand it.
Gaurav and
Sorry.
This is Surinder Kaul. Can I make a clarification? Would you give you permission?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, this is Surinder Kaul again from Houston. Yeah, I have been hearing all of you. This is really wonderful, and I am encouraged with your suggestions moving forward. But just a little clarification. As an officer of Kashmiri Overseas Association, I would like to emphasize that we don't want to enforce anything that you are contemplating. We don't want to use any authority, whatever you are perceiving. The intent of this, the main objective of our event is to open a platform so that you can do the networking. And there is no question of enforcing any culture and heritage or enforcing Kashmiri language. So the basic objective is to bring you all together, and then you devise a mechanism which way you want to carry it. So I just wanted to clarify, there is absolutely not enforcing anything, whether it is language or culture and heritage, nothing. At this stage, we want that all of
together and take initiatives that you think you are interested in. Back to you, Gaurav and Anil.
This is Anil. And thank you, Nisha, for your suggestion. Anna, for your suggestions as well. Just wanted to make a small comment there. I think, Nisha, what you mentioned about local language, I'm sorry, language at the local level, I think that's a great idea. I agree with that. I think doing that at the national level, looking for failure, we need to have local sessions, local events. 100% agree with that. And I've seen that in the beginning, at least one thing is there that there are multiple folks who have come out with a push to have Kashmiri language sessions or at least groups where young folks can be introduced, taught, and made fluent in Kashmiri. So that's a good thing to hear. Regarding your second part, which was networking at a local level, I think that is something that I feel could be done at a local level. Absolutely. But we want to take it to the next level. We actually want networking to be done across states, East Coast to West Coast. And that is one reason why we are enforcing conference like this, or we are doing it through a Google Hangout. We don't want to restrict your social network to your state or your zone. We feel that through your parents' push or through your own requirement or through your own, you probably go to a local Shivratri event or Diwali event and so on and so forth, but you probably don't know many of your friends in the West Coast who may be sharing the same ideas that you have or sharing the same interests as you have, and that is where I feel that the networking part should be taken internationally. I think Rajni and he's also there.
Yeah, I think I totally agree with Anil ji. I don't think the objective of this hangout is that we want to impose things on.
Do we have anybody else speaking for us?
This is Rajni.
We have Rajni. Rajni call.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, I think what Anilji said, I totally agree with him. I don't think the purpose, and what Surendraji said also, our purpose was we want you guys to connect with each other. You have lots of talent, and to find out, do the networking with each other, and help out each other. That is our purpose, and how you will do it is up to you. And we are not going to impose ourselves on you. So I think Adi had this concept that people are going to be thrusting their views on them or teaching them the heritage. No, we are not going to be doing that. Purpose is that you guys go together and find your own ways. We just want you to, you have a great heritage, you have a great value system, and and you are all very talented. So connect with each other, and network with each other, and get something from each other. So basically, we want to have the views from you on this networking. Do you think this is the right way to go?
Hello?
Yeah, somebody is speaking from in the background.
This is Nisha. I'm from Maryland. I mean, I totally understand networking is great, and I think that the next step after this conversation would be all the youth that is in this conversation. We start our own email thread, and we start once again back to the grassroots. Get your friends from your zone
and we start our own like Facebook group, start very small, and we start networking that way. Because otherwise, I don't know how we could network. I mean, we could do these group hangouts, and I don't know exactly how many people is on right now, or how many Google can really hold. But if we're gonna have like 10 of my friends, 10 of each of our friends come on to next generation, then we need to have a bit, like, we need to have something else to go to.
I'm sorry, this is Sahana again. I think with regards to the whole networking idea, I mean, it's an idea, and I think it definitely has value. But I think it's we're kind of go with what Tisha said. If we have like sort of a timeline to establish a group and then mix it up with another, say like she said, you have 10 friends and you make 10 new friends for Facebook group. If you have like say a timeline of a month and a half, at which point of time you have these groups that are well established and that they can kind of link together, and then you have groups that are linked together and group on the networking, and then another month and you link up a third group, and that way I think it's more manageable and within a short period of time. I think the original company said that if we do this group, we should do this, we should have like sort of status support twice a year. So I think if we do something like this 6 months, it's quite feasible that you can have like both network link up and actually work, and you're there people who know each other, and that kind of blends the local with the national in a way that actually can work. I think if we have like timelines that we adhere to them, and we actually just like if we get down to logistics, all these ideas work. Somebody sit down and say this is what it is. So the people are going to be sort of not in charge, but definitely willing to step up and take the lead.
I mean, I feel like each zone, like for instance, I don't know how many zones are represented right now, but if there's about, I don't know how many, I honestly don't know. If there's, let's say, 7 of us, and like I'm from zone 4, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to get my friends that I know of my age are in college, professional school, whatever it is, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to start a Facebook group, and then somebody else from another zone is like, okay, well, I'll add my 10 friends to that Facebook group. But then where do we, that's a plateau. Like, you know, you can add yourself to a Facebook group, but then what's the next step? Like, what is someone going to do? Like, adding to a group is great, perfect. We know, okay, well, this Razdan lives here and there and the other, but what's the next step? Then do we do a meeting of everybody? Then will those people in that group really want to travel to Chicago, for instance, which is the midway point between East and West, to have a meeting, and with people that they don't even know? Like, that's the next step.
Well, I think with regards to that, in those meetings, like, how somebody was talking about conferences, but I think it's like whoever makes the group, it's their, not responsibility, but definitely there has to be generated a sense of enthusiasm, like this is something you have to do. Like, there are hundreds of groups out there who aren't even connected the way KPs are, who go to regional conferences, who go to national conferences, because they believe in what they're doing. They believe in that not an idea, they believe in a principle, they believe in some of the organizations they're working on. And I think if we have that, that's why I think networking is great. The purpose of this is just conscious networking, because by itself, that's not something that will, like you said, that will give people the incentive to try hard. Because networking is, it's great that we network with KPs, but at the end of the day, as a professional, you network with the people you're working with. As a student, you network with the people you're studying with. There has to be an additional, okay, I'm networking with KPs, and this is why I'm doing it, besides just making myself go forward professionally. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. It's like we could have an incentive or some type of mission and goal. That would be great. Like, I don't know what it would be. I don't know what it could be. Or like at the conferences, we could have Kashmiri cooking and different type of sessions there where you have, we learn about your culture, but there's, we have aunties and uncles who come in and contribute, where we have like Filipino sessions, or we have, you learn budgets, you learn Kashmiri things, like that would be an incentive to go.
Right, or if you really want, like other like camps and stuff like that. Make exactly. Directly help us to do that. So the network change would be a benefit, but like I said, it's not the only reason we end up meeting. So what's the incentive then for me to go to a KP conference if I can go to a Rotary conference at the same time, and I have fantastic networking there as well?
Right, exactly.
Gaurav, I think these are great inputs. And
we're doing way too ahead of ourselves. We will be dividing up, into zones. We'll be dividing responsibilities. We have to do that, but I think we're going too far and thinking far off ahead. We have to have shorter goals and short-term goals. I mean, we do want to have long-term goals, but we divide the work into smaller timelines.
Okay, Gaurav, can I have another 2 minutes? Sorry, I'm speaking a lot. This is Surendra Paul.
That's the other thing. I think first is Anil Uncle and yeah.
Gaurav, do you want to talk about the Facebook page?
Yeah, I think I was going to talk about it in the end because I do have I was thinking about I've started a Facebook page. We can have a Google Plus page and we can have a Twitter handle. And we can do all of that. We can have a KOA group, but again, it boils down to how much we actually participate and enthusiasm by every individual. I just wanted Anil Uncle and if you have anything for us to say that you wanted something with like any suggestions or you've heard everyone of us. So
I think Surendraji wanted to say something. Yeah, I will just keep it brief. This is for your suggestion, basically. It is up to you whether whatever you like in this. It is just to focus and give you some ideas, some suggestions. See, the basic purpose of an organization is to facilitate. So we as Kashmiri Overseas Organization are trying to facilitate. So my suggestions are 4 points. One is, number one, if you are clear that we can create a sort of 10 coordinators within the nation. So the purpose of these coordinators will be that in your region, you will assemble you will start the networking in your region, collect their emails or create a Facebook page. And similarly, all these 10 coordinators can come out who might have outreach with all the youth groups in their region. So this will be point one to create a national team. Let us name it. Let us name XYC. Let us assume that we name it as KOA Kashmiri Overseas Association Youth Team. Okay. Number two, you all have passed through leadership groups in your high school, in your colleges. You have been part of the leadership group, and you have a better understanding how to provide leadership help not only to your group but also to us, those who are who have migrated from India. So basically, you can help us with your leadership group. You can give us suggestions. You can guide us. I'm putting the other way down. We are reaching out to you to seek your guidance in this country. So number two is that. Number three is based on that, you can choose your interest. Like so many of you are engaged in scholarly activities. You do research on X, Y, Z. So suggestion is like we have a lot of topics pertaining to the community or something else. You can identify one project if you think can add more value collectively and start working on that. Similarly, you can create a self-interest group. Someone has passion in music, someone has passion in academics, someone wants to do mentoring. So basically, you can do those initiatives. We as an organization can provide you letters, we can provide you that you have volunteered your time, which can help you going into the colleges or to the universities, because that's one of the requirements. So we will do everything possible, but please do guide us. So these are the things basically that I wanted to let you know. Again, I will stop here and pass it on to Anilji for any other points, whether he agrees, disagrees, or he has some additional points for you.
No, thank you. Yeah, I disagree with you. How dare I?
If you don't mind, Uncle, could I, if that's okay? Just me?
I just want to, what I took away from this is the fact that KOA at the end of the day is ultimately a community, and the whole point of the community is to help others in your community. And I honestly, as a member of KOA, love the people, like from all the aunties and all my, they're like a part of my family. And if there's any way that I can extend my help farther than just my sister or just like my friend, my an auntie's, son, then that would be like wonderful. That's like that. I think that's what the community is. And we're given so many opportunities, like we do at KOA camp every year. I think it would be great if we take our knowledge and kids of our age who have gone through the motions are given an opportunity to extend it to whoever is willing. There's no force. Whoever is willing to take that knowledge. I mean, I have parents that come up to me and they ask me like, what should I do for colleges? What APs should I take? Till the age of like 10, there's parents of 10-year-olds who are saying, what should my kids be doing in terms of activities, and what should my kids be doing in terms of sports? And if there's any way I can help, then I'm totally willing and actually want to extend that hand, because like that's what the whole point of a community coming together is. In any way, be it a Facebook group or be it like a one-on-one mentorship program where people who are in college are like assigned to kids who are going into high school to give them guidance. I think that would be a great opportunity.
Hi, LLG. Hi, hello, this is Sean. Sorry I was late. My taking my final exam. I just wanted to add on saying a little bit about the different regions that you guys are going to invite to. I think that's a good idea. Kind of create like a hierarchy of like the different goals to kind of stimulate community between like different groups that we have. And I think that'll be beneficial to us because again, it'll help us in our fields that we want to pursue. Kind of just learn that everything else we want to do and kind of explore the, like, if I want to go visit, say, a college, Northeast, I'm from the Northwest, that kind of communication can help learn more about the college, how to get into that college, and just more opportunities to get and just to learn. So I think it's a really good idea, and I'm pretty excited to be part of it.
Yeah, Gaurav, go ahead. Anybody else wants to speak anything?
I'm sorry, I don't mean, I just have a quick question. This is Tahana again. Okay, we put all these ideas forward, like, but what is the next step? Are we going to get emails like we did before? Like, what's going forward?
Sure, I think we've got all of the answers put on that. I'll just go over all the good ideas that we got, like learning projects using with having local networking, which is also coordinated with then like we started and national networking, which have meetings every year, learning about our culture, heritage, having little meetings in every zone that we're talking about, dividing it by zone and having a culturally based meeting where we like have food, have learn about the music and anything that we want to, and like in the column it said that we have coordinated around the nation, the state, and that we take. Right now, from this call, I'll give you my email address. I think all of you have Anilan's email address. Namaskaar. So I will ask all of you to email him about you yourself again, where you're from, and that would be enough for us to we can start dividing up. The first step would be to divide everyone by zone. I think that's everyone by zone. We assign responsibilities, what every zone thinks that we can do, and let's start like the small and steps to do. Okay. Other than that, I'll keep updating the Facebook page about what the group has made, whatever we discuss on the email thread. So I don't know if you're still there. Yeah. Can you shout out your email ID if you don't have it? So I'll go ahead and let you know my email ID. And if you think anything, if you want to say something else.
Right. So I think we should conclude now. And as a part, I would say that and thank you so much for your ideas. I think get a very good picture of what exactly you're looking for. I really appreciate the fact that you are still pushing for the timeline. I was very happy to hear that. I think the comments that were made by Misha and Sahana was that want us get going into something and put a timeline on that. We definitely do that. And the fact that you're stepping up and want to take the leadership role, that is again very heartening to hear. We are looking forward to giving you the opportunity to speak, tell us what your interest is, and we do that out. Eventually, as I said in the beginning, this growth, and eventually you can get there for a little while to get going, to get the buyers of the growth. Gaurav, thank you so much for helping me out organizing this hangout and conference call. I really appreciate your help. I think you are a part of this group and you're helping me out for the last month. So much. I really appreciate it. So with that,
Thank you.
my last comment is that my last name at hotmail.com is my email address. So that is ANILAACHROO at hotmail.com. Should be an email, but again, get onto the Facebook page that Gaurav created and start connecting. Somehow you will find my name or Gaurav's name or phone numbers, email addresses, and let's get this going. Thank you so much, guys. Over to you, Gaurav.
Okay, so I'll just go ahead and give you my email address as well. It's KOAWAL and GAURAB@gmail.com. That's my last name, first name at gmail.com. And I mean, if you still have Anila's email, you can still shoot an email to him. He'll add me to the email thread, and once we have all of the people who are here today and who want to be part of the initiative, you can just email Anila's and he'll add me to the thread. And we'll start a fresh thread once we have everyone's name in there. And I'll put the Facebook page link on the group chat and Hangout. I think you all got the email about the event. And I'll also post the Facebook link on the event page and plus, so you can join on the Facebook. Well, I'm thinking our next step should be, if correct me if I'm wrong, that we'll ask all of you all to make an email. We'll recognize all of you who are kind of like coordinators according to wherever zone you're in. We'll divide. We'll always. I mean, obviously, we'll be having help from KOA, the original KOA organization. They'll help us divide everyone in zone. And I think I've got down all the points that we had today. I'll I'll try to put that in the email thread myself with the link. And thank you guys for coming today. It was fun.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Namaskar.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Nisha, if you're still here, it was very nice to hear you. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Okay. All right.